Good morning. It is 7:33 on the 8th day of July, 2022. This is Rouser Radio, broadcasting from Lewis Centre and from the White Hart Hotel. Bang centre in the middle of the town. And a warm 25 degrees today with only a light breeze, no rain. So we enter a new era in British politics and British governance. Oh my God, I'll tell you, I feel very uneasy about this. Very, very uneasy altogether. I mean, God only knows what we're going to get. There's nobody that has my full support or backing or even admiration in the present lot. Will somebody come from the wings? I don't know. I really don't know. It is a difficult one, a really difficult one. And, good morning. Are you glad that we're here? Well, thank you for the vote of confidence, which, in fact, the Prime Minister didn't get. The fact is, those people that have turfed him out had better be able to deliver, because if not, their political careers are done forever. And as a matter of fact, it may be that the Conservative Party is going to have a long, long, long struggle back. They have been so used to being in command, they think that that's a God-given right. Not a bit of it. If Keir Starmer can calm his backseat people who get all excited about Brexit, then we could easily see a Labour government in 2 years' time. Quite easily. What a turnaround in British politics. And who did it? Well, all those people who purport to be politicians. But no, they have got so career-minded now, is they can only do what they think is good for them. And as a consequence, we've got a mishmash. We've got a fairly strong leader who has been turfed out. And who have we got to put in his place? Whiffle, waffle, waffle, woofle. And if they aren't good enough, then who have we got to put in our place? Kick, 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 and gain. And in the middle is the Liberal Democrat spokesperson, whoever the hell he was this morning on the BBC, was sickening. It's all the old platitudes. We're back to the old politics. You know, we the people have said to the politicians, we don't want your old politics. We want something new. But have the politicians listened? No, they have not. And they are going to get themselves into a bigger pickle. And also, they're going to get the country into a pickle before everything is decided. But it'll be easy. They'll blame Boris. Whether he's there to be blamed or whether he's gone. They'll blame Boris. And it is very, very sad indeed. The Times, Johnson throws in the towel. The Prime Minister's resignation leaves all the national papers. Johnson throws in the towel, declares the Times, bringing his 3-year stint as Prime Minister to an end. The Prime Minister bowed to pressure to step down yesterday, admitting them's the breaks during his speech. Critics have urged him to leave the role now, as a leadership contest has begun, the paper says. Well, that's all well and good. That's a rubbish. I was surprised at that from the Times. The Guardian, well, it's over. Some 59 resignations and a cabinet revolt led to the Prime Minister finally agreeing to resign as leader. The Guardian says, well, hang on, his announcements sparked a debate about when he would actually leave. The paper says it describes his action as an end to one of the most divisive and turbulent periods in British politics. We don't want nice. We want turbulence. When are you going to understand that, you stupid people? Oh, on form this morning. Yeah, on form. Financial Times. Johnson quits, defiant to the end. The FT says the end of his regime was tumultuous, saying he was defiant until the end. He defended his record and blamed Tory MPs for their eccentric decision to force him from office. Well, I actually go along with that, It's a lot of nobodies and jobs worths and ratios all deciding who will lead. Government and governance needs reform. It badly needs reform. Actually, Boris said that at the start of his tenure. Unfortunately, he hit COVID straight away. The PM said, this is the Daily Telegraph, the PM's long goodbye leaves UK in a state of paralysis. Well, sorry, but I don't think it's Boris who's left the country in a state of paralysis. It's all those backbenchers, the 650. Now, one of which I would give tuppence to, wouldn't hold the torch to any of them. The country will be left in a state of paralysis if the Prime Minister remains until a successor is chosen. A care-lated leader to be. That's all we need, is a care-lated. So many things on the table that are problems. All we need is a caretaker leader. Really, the newspapers today are run by children as well. Sorry, they really are. The downfall, the eye, is just somebody says downfall. 11 Tories are considering putting themselves into the leadership race. Well, actually, why don't you get half a dozen more? You might as well, because all the value of any of them in the race is it's nonsense. It's rubbish. The candidates will likely be cut to 2 MPs within 13 days before the Conservative Party members vote for the next Prime Minister. Oh, they've cut that short. They've cut that short. Oh, well. The Metro. Leave means leave. Okay. The Daily Express. Thank you, Boris. You gave Britain back its freedom. And they're absolutely right. Is who has been looking at the things that the guy has done that are good, that he achieved? Nobody. They are all so busy getting their bollocks into a twist about ice cakes and all the rest of it. Yes, he was colourful. Yes, he may have lied. I don't go by a day without lying to somebody. And I would like to challenge anybody in the country how many managed to get through a day without lying. And as for the 650, they are liars through and through. They're politicians, aren't they? The Mirror, clinging on to one last party. Well, I can't even be bothered with the Mirror. The Daily Mail. Now, here is the question that that should be asked: is what the hell have they done? The Daily Mail says Tory MPs were warned on Thursday night they would rue the day if they forced the Prime Minister out. The paper also shows the Prime Minister's wife, Carrie Johnson, consoling her husband after he announced his resignation. The fact is that question is going to come back to haunt all of us. What the hell have they done? It's just dreadful, just dreadful. But the Sun, kiss goodbye. You see, there's so much triumphalism. We got rid of him. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you people that got rid of him, I personally on this station is going to hold you to account on a week by week or a day by day basis once you start running the country. And by God, you better be good, otherwise you're going in for a shellacking each day. Kiss goodbye, declares the Sun. Well, yeah. Oh, what happened to my phone? Oh, the Star. Bozo, that legacy in full. Well, I mean, I always take the Star with a pinch of salt. Today, one has to. I can't even get. I haven't the enthusiasm to work up to even say, "Well done, the Star, giving us funnies again." It hasn't. It hasn't. Well, there we are. Let's settle our nerves with a bit of music. Zula by the Mini Vandals. Haven't played that for a while. Kind of emotional. Good morning. You're looking for the reception, are you? Or, yeah. She's there. If you just look through. Zula and the Mini Vandals. God bless them. I love those Mini Vandals. It brings us to 7:47. And the headlines, of course, all around the fact that yesterday the Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigned. And when you consider that those people who pushed him are made up of ratios, nothing more. There's no suggestion whatsoever that they know what they're doing, that they're suitable for office. There are ratios. And it's disgraceful and disgusting. And frankly, they've all lost my support. Never mind which way I was going to vote anyway, but I certainly don't feel I can have it in my heart to support a lot that have behaved the way that these lot have behaved. It may be that I'll withhold my vote for once. Enough people do. Only Well, actually, in local Mexico, only a little over 30% go to the polls. The rest don't bother. Huh, they really don't. Where are we? We are at um, 7:41. Oh, 7:48 on the morning of the 8th, and it is going to be warm out there. It's going to bump 25, and that is warm for us. So be prepared. Looking out of the high street, it's bathed in sunshine at the moment. There is going to be very, very minor scattered cloud. Generally speaking, it's going to be very, very good. Very nice indeed. Um, I just looked at the back pages. There's, well, of course, there's the usual Wimbledon stuff, but nothing terribly inspirational there, I don't think. And the other thing is that Clive Woodward is having a go at Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, Eddie Jones. Funny how you think in terms of Smith and Jones in one. But he, in terms of what's going on in the rest of the country, Clive Woodward has taken on Eddie Jones for his selection of the England team to face the Wallabies in what's called a crunch. And what Clive Woodward says is that Eddie Jones has tampered with the backline, and it's hoped, without any real evidence, it's hoped that it will work. And he more or less intimates that there's nothing in international cricket, football, rugby, to stop that sort of approach. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie me. Dearie, dearie me. So, only really one game in town this morning is how do you feel about Boris? And I hope that in everybody who's swallowed up is that this television station isn't one of them. Okay, you say, what television station? We're on radio. Well, our sister act is at 2:15. 2:15. It's at 8:15. Well, 8:30 actually. We would go off the air here at 8:15 to give us a chance to set up for the morning run from Mirador Television. And I hope that you will you get a chance to take a look at Mirador. It's improving all the time. It's expanding its reach with things to do. All in all, we're in not bad shape. Except we are now leaderless. Just as things start to pan out, then some idiot goes along and spoils our premiership. And his small but loyal festival group of people. Right, time to go home. Let's go to Millie Vandel's Kind of a Party. I like this one. There you go. 7:54 on the 8th of July, a momentous day, the first day without Boris at the helm. And even then, it's not sure that he's not at the helm. He wants to carry on until they've selected a new leader. It might not be a bad idea. The fact of the matter is that the country rudderless is not something to be welcomed at the moment. There's too much going on domestically and internationally. And Boris actually was fairly good with handling both. We've got to the point, really, in this country where we do not like to be told that we haven't done our thinking properly. We've got so used to being able to think, and people take notice of us. We use our experience. What happens? What happens? No, 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 no. You don't get experience from it. You don't get decisions from it. What you do is you get absolute rubbish that turns out to be Westminster. That's what you do. You get absolute rubbish. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Let's randomly open to the middle pages. That's not a middle page. Oh, neither is that. Oh gosh, it's Friday. There's yeah, well, now there's one here. There's a headline here, and I just wonder about it. I better turn that down a bit because we're driving the sound through the roof. Oh, we don't mean that in the least. No, we don't. Okay. Here's something. Are millennials putting lullabies to sleep for good? Classic lullabies are at risk of dying out, as nearly half of millennial mothers and fathers don't know all the words. For instance, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. A poll of 2,000 parents aged 26 to 41 revealed just 53% can name all the lyrics to Baba Black Sheep, while only 51% can sing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Well, that's pretty disgusting, isn't it? They better get their act together then. But the fact of the matter is, once again, the computers have taken over. We've that bunch of people from was it 2022 to 40. They can't read and they can't write, and it's not as our dear pal Max on this program. He can't because he's dyslexic. And these people do it because they opt to do it. They choose not to read and write. They choose to set up their own code system, if you like, which only they understand. Well, that's not communication, chaps. That's where you actually should have your legs cut off. Yes, I'm talking naughty right-wing stuff. Somebody's got to talk it because we're in trouble. We're in deep trouble if we don't actually talk the talk and walk the walk, because we are lacking now in leadership. And who is to blame? Well, you watch. It'll be us eventually. It'll be the people. But let's take a segment of the people where it will be ready to blame everybody else plus. That should be plus. Oh dear. And we have agreed that we will look at some of the things that are being done in the community. And some of them are very interesting indeed. But we won't discuss that right now. What we'll do is we'll wait. You can get it on a new app that will go up sometime during today. And all in all, not a bad situation. Let's go Ben Sound Jazz Frenchy. Oh, there we are. We're back at 8:01 with the Prime Minister having resigned. I suppose he's not the Prime Minister anymore. We don't have the Prime Minister. It's the children are gathered in the parlour, working out how now they've got us into this mess. How will they manage to get us out? It's difficult to say. But I doubt if anybody in those euphorious days in 1000, anyway, when Boris first came to power, the euphoria that followed him, and now those same people are howling for his blood. Does that remind you of any biblical story? One day they say, Hail Caesar, and make sure you let Mr. Uncle go. And then you would have something that it was quite frippery, absolute frippery, and a record to go with it. I haven't got the frippery at the moment, but let's have without anything to say or do. I was just ruminating there quickly while I was trying to do 7 things at once, and it doesn't work. Um, the fact of the matter is, we are getting ourselves deeper and deeper into the mess because we are not sitting down and saying what is it the sort of man that we want and who is that sort of man or woman in the cabinet or not in the cabinet, or for that matter, lurking in the wheels and from the branch offices. Let's put it that way. That makes it easier, doesn't it? So here we go. We 8:03. We are getting 7 minutes to the end of this before we set sail with Mirador Television's Break an Egg, or affairs from the heart. I'm ruminating there. I'm sorry. It's just one of those mornings. I'm afraid it's Friday to start off with. Let's go to another piece of music, shall we? Your Love. This is another one that I can't say that I'm totally in love with myself, but it's okay. It's sort of drear, but it's that sort of morning, isn't it? Oh dear, now I go blasting you out of your seats again. Um, it's okay, your love, and it's from Young, Y-U-N-G, not Y-O-U-N-G, Logos, and he pops up with stuff from time to time. We keep an eye on that. You're listening to Rouser Radio, and the early part of the morning, Break an Egg, which is the theme of our uh, television service, which starts in about 30 minutes, a little less than that, 20 minutes. And in the meantime, we're getting ready for that. What have we got on this morning? Well, we've got Melissa Conti coming in from New York, and she will have with her, or ready to jive, is Connor Winton, who is her son, and Connor is very keen on beer making and has tried to replicate some Harvey's ale. So we're actually asking the brewers down at Harvey's whether they've got any thoughts on what he's trying to do. So that's something else to look forward to, I suppose, during the day. All right. The soft stories in the paper. I don't think anybody is feeling rather soft this morning. It's, everything is up in the air because of Boris just going. Uh, Boris's bravura speech in full. Government is You're a true hero, Boris, says Zelensky. Yeah, the world is going to. People keep on saying we're a laughing stock of the world. Well, we weren't, but now we are, because they don't understand. But to the world, a successful leader, what do we do? Dumping him. All right? It's crazy. And they've got every right to ask the question. Utterly duplicitous. The scathing verdict of one Boris ally on Zahawi, the new chancellor, who knifed the PM just hours after he promised they'd fight. Yeah. And they all were at the parties yesterday. They were all at parties. That's how they do business. That's how they do the serious business. Drink in hand. I'd shut all the bars in Westminster, frankly, though. Little John. Gulliver has fallen, downed by a devil's bargain between a pro-EU blob and Lilliputian nobodies. Well done, Little John. You have actually called it. You've called it right. We're heading into waters which are totally unknown. Exposed in court the significant tensions between Harry and the Queen's royal scandal took over for a while from the people's scandal. We're full of scandal, aren't we? We're scandal. People have come out of lockdown and don't know what to do. As a consequence, they keep on thinking, what dirt and muck can we dig up? Prince Harry and one of the Queen's most senior aides were exposed at the High Court yesterday. Lawyers for the Duke of Sussex said the Queen's private secretary, Edward Young, should not have been involved in decisions over Harry's security because of significant tensions between the pair. Well, nice to know somebody gets upset with somebody, and that all the nice toothpaste grins aren't for naught. It's that this is the Jubilee year is the year of scandal, collapse, absolute skullduggery, dishonourability, but the day that Britain started to die, and that you are able to put your finger on, the day that Britain began to die, and I can almost guarantee the die it is going to. 8/11. Oh dear, it's almost time for us to go. Holiday fear as price of flights trebles amid cancellations. Right, families could be priced out of summer holidays as fares soar after airlines axe thousands of flights. Oh God, there it goes again. You know, we create a situation where these decisions have to be taken, and then we complain bitterly that it's going to affect us adversely. What a load of old codswallop. What a load of codswallop indeed. I think it's 8/12. I think what we can do is we can actually say toodle-pip and invite you to join us in approximately 20 minutes' time for Rake and Egg, the first issues of so many years ago, but in exactly the same circumstances. And those who have carried up in favour to the royals may well find themselves under duress, and under duress from our own side, if you like, duress which shows our people having a go at our people, and that is very, very unseemly indeed. All right, toodle pip. See you Monday. Well, I hope we will if we avoid being thrown into if we're being thrown into the society of wolves. Some of us it won't last there either. Never mind. Toodle pip.